Hello one and all, and welcome to another weekly episode of Writing LitRPG and Publishing Books. For those of you who are new here, I put out weekly episodes of what life looks like as an author and publisher of books. You can expect seeing what writing books as a profession looks like and maybe some insights on what happens on the business side of things. If this sounds like something you might enjoy, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel. Alright, it's Monday and I started off early to go get my annual flu shot. I was done by 9 AM and since I was already in the center of the city, I thought I'd go to a Starbucks place I really like and work there. I had some downtime over the weekend, so I took care of some admin tasks like formatting future releases, so there wasn't too much to do before I started writing. I didn't even have many emails, which was good because I knew I was working against a deadline. It wasn't that I'd have to stop writing at a certain time, of course, but I was sure the vaccine would eventually make it too hard for me to continue writing. So I continued outlining my new story, making good progress on what I had written down already. To give some context, I have already handwritten almost 66 pages of outline, and what I'm doing now is transferring it to Google Docs and at the same time expanding it. The digital outline will serve as the actual plan of what I'm going to write in this book. Eventually, I ran out of coffee and decided to move to a different cafe, one close to my place that I visit every day, so that it'd be easier to get back if I felt tired or anything. This wasn't the best day in terms of productivity, but I did manage to write a bit over 3,200 words and cover 52 pages of the outline. We're almost at 80% of this process and only need 13.5 more pages before we're done. The digital outline is now sitting at 51.5 thousand words, which is too much for an outline, but this is part of a new process I'm trying for myself, so I'm seeing it through. Hopefully, I'll be done with it this week and will be able to start writing next Monday. For now, I'm done with walking because I can feel myself getting quite irritated by almost everything, a sign that the vaccine is affecting me. I suppose I'll go for a walk with Poco and take it easy for the rest of the day. I hope that by tomorrow the side effects will be over and I'll be able to carry on writing. As much as I wanted to get to the cafe early today and get back to writing, I had to take a couple meetings, so I worked from home. Thankfully, Poco chose to grace me with his presence while I was at my desk. Today is a double release day, one I needed to promote with my publishing hat on and one with my author hat. Both were audiobook releases and the publisher one was the first romance audiobook we ever released. It's the first book in Ellen Pierce's Men of the North series, and we're quite proud to be putting it out for the world to consume as audio. At the same time, romance audiobooks are a new step for us since we do not really know whether the market is there, but we'll do our best to promote it and make it a hit. Eventually, I was done with the meeting, so I went to the cafe and continued working from there. So the second audiobook that was released today is the English version of the first book in the Physics of the Apocalypse series, produced by Podium Audio and narrated by the amazing Eric Jason Martin. I've met Eric in Vegas, and since he was such a cool person with a great portfolio and voice acting skills, I knew I had to get him to narrate this series. So here's a sample of the audiobook. I hope you liked the sample and enjoy the audiobook if you get it on Audible. In any case, I will be promoting this title on the various Facebook groups over the week, but today I made a post on the LitRPG subreddit, hoping to boost it a bit. Now that my tasks were taken care of, I went back to outlining my new story. I think working later today did me no favors, but I still managed to write a bit more than yesterday, so almost 3.3 thousand words. More importantly, I covered page 55 of the handwritten outline, reaching 84% completion. If all goes well, I'll be able to handle the remaining 10.5 pages over the next 3 days. Regardless, the expanded outline is now a monster of 55,000 words, and I can't wait to actually start writing this book. While I was writing, I got a couple more emails that needed to be taken care of, so I was ultimately done at around 5 PM and spent the remainder of my day resting with Poco. I'm quite happy with this week's progress so far and will try to keep this up tomorrow as well. Today was another one of these days that didn't go according to plan, but I tried to make the best out. Some workers were supposed to come and check something in our apartment today, so I had to stay home. After a quick breakfast, I went for a long walk with Poco and then got back home where I had some admin tasks waiting. So what are admin tasks? Emails to translators, editors, artists, other authors, or things like formatting books, preparing covers, taking care of storing files, preparing the backend for releases, and so many more things. Today it was mostly talking with beta readers and managing that workflow, and communicating with one of our narrators who just finished the books they were recording. And since they were done, we had to talk about what would be coming next and why. Knowing what's coming is an important part of how I try to run my business, because I don't want to be in a position where I have to ask for someone to wait before they get paid. In any case, at some point the workers came to our place and did their thing, which meant it was also time for me to get to work. Well, I was actually working already, but now I could go to the cafe and start writing. It was kind of a slow start, which is usually the case when I don't start writing as soon as I wake up, but eventually I managed to get in the flow and even exceed my daily goal, taking care of 4 pages instead of 3. This brought me just over the 90% mark as I wrote 3.7 thousand words. At this point, the extended outline has reached 58.5 thousand words, very close to my projection of 1000 words per handwritten page of outline. Having finished at around 4 p.m, I managed to get the last of the sunset as I was leaving for the gym, and then back home for a quick shower. Wednesdays are D&D days, so that's how I spent the remainder of my time. What a busy day today was. I woke up around 9 a.m. and took Poco to the vet for a checkup. He's perfectly healthy, but we like to be on top of his health as he's 12 years old already. Anyway, after quite a long walk back from the vet, I took my laptop and headed straight to my neighborhood cafe where I was supposed to write. I'm saying supposed to because I didn't write a single word for my book for more than an hour. First off, Thursdays are German LitRPG release days, and today we released the 3rd book in the Chaos and Order series of Timothy McGowan. So of course I had to promote the release so the book would be as set up for success as possible. Then there were a few emails that I had been postponing and quite a few audiobook productions that I had to download from our narrator's Dropbox and store in my external drive. Also, I noticed that one of the series we're translating and producing just got the cover for its next installment in English, so I had to bother the publisher to send it to me. There were a few things to do about upcoming romance releases and some accounting related tasks, but suffice it to say that took a lot out of me. That was especially true because I didn't sleep enough last night, so I was already feeling tired. This meant that I split my writing day into 2 parts, writing 3,000 words in the cafe and then another 1,000 words back home. I usually try to avoid this, but since I'm trying to finish the outline this week, I thought a little crash would be okay. With these words down, we are just below 95% completion with 62,500 words and only need 3.5 pages before finishing. It really feels good to know that the story is progressing, and I was happy to hear from my editor today. He was sick the past few days, but just managed to start looking at my world building notes today and will probably get on with his edits on the outline over the next days. This means that I might be able to actually start writing the book next week. First, I need to finish the outline though, so let's see what I'll manage tomorrow. Waking up at 9 a.m, I could feel this would be the day I finally finished outlining this story. I headed straight to the cafe and got down to writing. There were 3.5 pages left and I focused on getting to the bottom of the story, while also making sure that I didn't rush the ending. Essentially, there were a few things that needed to be done, and some of them were quite emotional. As always, when writing such scenes, it takes a lot of energy, so I wasn't able to quite finish the story before I was too tired to continue and left the cafe. But I wasn't about to give up. Instead, I went home and took Poco for a long walk to clear my head. Then I went to the gym, returned, had lunch and continued writing. So at around 4 p.m, I finally reached the end of my handwritten notes with a digital outline of 65,000 words. Whether this is just a short version of the actual book or if it will grow to be multiple books of around 500,000 words in total, is still to be seen. The important thing is that I enjoyed the process and the story became better because of it. Also, I saw that my editor started working on the outline, so I just might be able to start writing the actual book on Monday. On the other hand, I'm also flirting with the idea of taking a short break, but I guess I'll see how the weekend goes. Tonight, I'll be going to the cinema to watch the Hunger Games prequel, so before I get ready for that, I thought I'd take care of my last task for the week. Namely, I formatted next week's release as it came back from our last beta readers and made sure all of the incoming invoices were properly stored for November. All in all, it was a great week, having written almost 18,000 words and finished another step toward the next series. And before signing off, I thought I'd mention something I was talking about with an author friend today. I do not know whether this story will perform well in terms of sales, and there are certain marketing and promoting tasks that I'm holding back on until I see how well it does. The goal isn't to reach top 10 or top 100. The goal is for this story to perform better than the last one, meaning Physics of the Apocalypse. I know that I'm doing my best with this new story, so if it performs better than the last, then that's a great sign for me. If not, well, I'll learn what I can and move on to the next series. Each book series can be a lottery ticket as long as I do my best when writing it. So I'll just have to continue doing my best, keep learning and getting more lottery tickets. And that's all for this week. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope I'll see you again next week. Okay, bye!